Good morning. It is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Hi, everybody. The forecast is pretty simple. Today, a little bit of a breeze. Nothing horrific. Nothing crazy. Low to mid 50s today. Cooler than yesterday. More clouds. Tonight, we get below freezing. That should be one of the last times tonight that we get below freezing. Tomorrow, the high today will be just about the same as tomorrow. Less wind tomorrow, but we get rain eventually overnight. Spotty rain overnight tomorrow. Highs in the low 40s. We warm way up on Thursday, and that is an indication that we're going to see other things. We're going to see wind. We're going to see rain on Thursday. Spotty rain, showers, spotty rain, showers, and probably a thunderstorm or two. Again, we're going to be getting a warm front coming through. And then the low Thursday night is going to be. Okay, now this. All right, Tim. Tim says the sound is doubled. It should no longer be doubled. Let me check that. Hang on. Here, let's put the big image up for you. All right, that should be better now. Again, it's very simple today. Low to mid 50s today and tomorrow, and then we warm about 20 degrees plus. We could get above 75 on Thursday. There's just not a whole lot to talk about. It'll be dry today, a little bit of a breeze, less breeze tomorrow, stronger breeze on Thursday, showers, periods of rain, that sort of thing, and probably a thunderstorm as we get into the afternoon, evening, overnight, as a pretty strong warm front comes through, and we have a pretty big issue going on. If you've been watching our coverage of the Storm Prediction Center, we've been showing you updates from them and how it was. Yesterday, there was not a whole hell of a lot going on for today. Tuesday, we're supposed to get a break in the weather, right? According to the Storm Prediction Center. Yeah, well, this is today now. That is now the Storm Prediction Center's guidance for today. We talked about this yesterday. There was just a little bit of color there, and it was light green. And I said to you, you can go watch the replay from yesterday. I don't think that's accurate. I think we need to take this a little more seriously. We're going to have a little more intense weather. Well, they, I guess, agree now. That is today. This is. Well, let me do this way. I'll show you the big one. There it is. That is now today's. We now have tomorrow's now looks like this. That is going to change, friends. That is definitely going to change, or at least it should. That orange area is going to get some red in it. As we get into the upper Ohio Valley, I think we're going to need to see a change in the likelihood, the possibilities up in here. This system is no joke. We've been talking about this all week. This system that's starting today, again, let's go back to today. This is today. Down in here, this is going to shift to the north and the east overnight tonight through tomorrow. And then again, as we get into tomorrow, we're going to see this spread. This area is no joke. Again, we've been talking about it all week. This was light green, and I think there was eventually some yellow in here. There was no orange, but we talked about it. We said that this area should absolutely be mindful for severe weather on Wednesday, tomorrow. Seems the Storm Prediction Center agrees, but again, there's no red on here. There will be red on here. At least I believe there should be red on here. Then we get into Thursday. It's elongated, and that includes our area. If you watch this and look at this carefully, this extends up into our neck of the woods. This yellow is likely to extend, and I would not be surprised if we see some orange in here as well. So again, this is a Thursday. This is going out 3 days. That is typically the extent of our coverage for WYCELs is 3 days. But let me go ahead and show you Friday, Saturday, That is tomorrow, Thursday. Here's Friday. We're already seeing guidance for Friday. We are now looking at guidance on Sunday. So this is definitely a pattern. Again, just another pattern that we're in that is going to be causing problems, a lot of problems. So we come back here to day one today. Here's tomorrow. Here's Thursday. Here's Friday, and then we get into Saturday. That is going to enhance. That is going to become broader. We're going to see light greens go on there. We're going to see dark greens go in there. We'll likely see some orange on there as well. Today, just out of nowhere, we talked about this week that this looked like today was going to be an opportunity for transition, a quiet period. But the upper atmosphere and the powers that be, naturally speaking, meteorologically speaking, don't want that. They want chaos, and that's going to start today unexpectedly. And then that's obviously going to amplify as we get into tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a horrible day. All the tornadoes that we saw Monday, Sunday, the strong storms you saw move through yesterday are going to be nothing compared to tomorrow. I'm very, very, very worried about tomorrow. We'll see what happens with it. But if you're anywhere in these colored areas for tomorrow, you have to be mindful because it is going to be a very, very busy day. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen today. Again, this is today's. Kansas, Oklahoma, the mesoscale discussion for this area here is problematic. This looks like we could see some pretty intense, not just a chance for tornadoes in this area today, but there's a chance for some very large hail, some damaging winds, some very, very strong damaging winds. Mostly over Kansas and central Oklahoma. Again, we'll watch it, we'll see it, but this area is under the gun once again, and it just seems like the same people are down here in Oklahoma, that is, are just going to get nailed again under that threat again, and then that threat again moves into Missouri, moves into Arkansas, it'll move into Louisiana, and then we go tomorrow. We get the Ohio Valley all the way down into the Mississippi Valley. This is tomorrow. Whoops, sorry. This is tomorrow's guidance. So we're going to watch it. And it's not going to be a good day tomorrow. Probably won't be a good night tonight. It's going to be very dangerous nights. If you're in any of these areas that you see colored there, or any of the areas that you see colored here, you need to be mindful today. Anywhere basically from Mississippi River east. Be very careful. Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, the farther south you go, Oklahoma, Texas, all the way east. Be mindful today. The Mississippi Valley, the High Plains, the Western Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Lower Ohio Valley, the Upper Mississippi Valley, the Gulf Coast, and that will swing east over the next 48 hours. Tomorrow peaking. Today we could have some stuff again. Kansas, Nebraska don't look good. From a mesoscale discussion perspective, but tomorrow it looks like widespread problems. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll do all the stuff that we normally do. Here is your forecast again for today. Low to mid 50s, a little bit of a breeze today. Tomorrow, low to mid 50s, less breeze. Showers as we get late afternoon, evening, and overnight. Spotty showers, periods of rain Thursday. Stronger breeze on Thursday, but significantly warmer. That's why we're going to get that stronger breeze. As the warm air moves in, we'll start seeing a stronger breeze. We'll get to the mid 70s, maybe the upper 70s on Thursday, and then the lows Thursday night will be the same, just about the same as our highs today and tomorrow. Okay, that's really all I have for you. WYCEL is brought to you all month, last month, all month, today, or this month, by Snowscapes. So thanks to Snowscapes for sponsoring WYCEL. If Snowscapes wasn't sponsoring WYCEL, we probably wouldn't be doing WYCEL every single day, but because they're sponsoring it, we're doing it. That's all I got for you. I don't really have anything else. I'm going to go back on that. I got a whole bunch of other shit I'm working on for the weather cares wise, trying to make any kind of progress, and I'm just not making any kind of progress. I'm trying, but it's just a lot of stuff. Let's go through the comments. Yeah, just good mornings and the audio thing. Hopefully the audio is better. Good morning, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for WYCEL. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, probably 11 o'clock. All right, bye.